went to a place to try to get some things to help us run better so we don't do injury to ourselves. And so we went into this place and we kind of made this declaration. I know we don't look like your normal runners, but we're trying and we're here. Now this guy that's helping us runs cross country for UNCG. He's got like 0.1% body fat. If anybody could have been rude, if anybody could have been irritable, if anybody, he could have said, listen, you guys don't belong here. This is for the serious runner. But you know what he said to us? He said, did you run last week? Yes. Then you're a runner. You deserve to be here. And I sat back and the thought hit me, wow, the encouragement that he offered with that one sentence. And as Christians who have experienced the love of God, why is it when we're dealing with our spouses, with our kids, with our coworkers, with whomever, that we act so irritable? We ought to be the most encouraging and friendly people that you've ever met because of what Christ has done in our hearts. And yet, we are irritable in our love. We're irritable in how we talk to our kids, how we talk to our spouse. In church, that shouldn't be. We should be the most radiant. Because you know what? I have Christ. What else do I need? Anything else is icing on the cake. I know when that guy said, I wish you and all the other preachers were dead. Hey, that's fine. I'll be in the presence of my God. I didn't sit there and go, hey, listen, chump. Let's go right now. Wouldn't that really show the love of God? You see, when you are secure and convinced in the love that God has shown to you, you are able to show that to others. A couple others. Love is not resentful. Somebody gets something or does something, you don't hold it to their account. You don't sit there and go, I'll remember that. I'll keep track of that. I can't believe you did that. It's not resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing. Now, have you ever had somebody in your life that you didn't really get along with? And something happened to them. Maybe they fell when they were walking in the ice. And you sat there and you go, boy, they had that coming. Agape love does not rejoice at wrongdoing. Agape love does not rejoice when somebody else messes up. When you hear somebody else that is caught in a sin, you don't sit there and go, I knew it, they had it. No, your heart breaks. Because you see, how did they get going wrong? How did they do wrong? Because they fell away from God's love and started resting in their own love. So how can I rejoice in that? You see, these characteristics that we just looked at are the ones that often describe our love endeavors. We're often irritable. We're often resentful. We're often envious. And yet, somehow we think that's okay because we're not as bad as the next person. And here's what I want you to think about. Instead of worrying about not being as bad as the next person, focus on being as good and as loving as God is. And that'll change you. If we can conquer the attributes that love is not, then we'll be more open on what true love is. If I can get rid of the envy, if I can get rid of the rudeness, if I can get rid of the irritability, if I can get rid of those things, then it opens up to what agape really is. Then I'm there bearing all things because I'm not resenting them for what they're doing. I'm not envious that they're able to carry on with their life because I'm loving them and Christ loves me. And then he gives us this very powerful statement. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass pass away. Church, love never ends. Why? Because God is love. We won't get to heaven and be like, well, this is not a very loving place. No. It'll be the most loving place because that's the kingdom of God. And God is love. Now, we don't have time to do it today, but I want to give you this challenge. I want you to go back and read through 1 Corinthians 13, but every time that it says love, I want you to put God's name there. If I could speak with the languages of men and of angels and have not God, wow. If I have faith to move the mountains and have not God, I am nothing. God is patient. God is kind. Do you see what I'm saying? It puts it into a different perspective. So instead of trying to think of an abstract word as love, God is love, so I can put his name there, and now I see those attributes lived out in my life. And it changes how I treat others.